that lightly. We don't take that lightly in a minute. Man, don't die already rush me in there. In recording. Okay. If you say so.
Well,
I will not complain.
If you're messing with food, I'm sorry. This is precious.
I promise not to complain. Yes, sir. Indeed, indeed. So, we are going to have something slightly different today. And what time is it? Okay, got it. It's 5 minutes. Yes. We got 5 minutes into class. And we are actually not going to use the onion this time. But we are going to use something called Lent chickpeas. Some chickpeas. And then we have okay. These ingredients that we have all set. I have some spices and some oil. What's going on, Don? I'm counting on you, Don. I'm to tell us something this morning.
I could tell you all sorts of things. What do you want to know?
Okay, so this is I have all the ingredients that we have today. So today we are going to make a soup. We have made salads. We haven't yet made a soup. So this morning I decided to be slightly different and make a soup. So we are going to make chickpeas and sweet potato soup. So I have one of my favorite bowls here with one of my favorite spoons, the cleft spoon. And now we can take a look at all the ingredients that we have here so that we can prepare them step by step. So we have chickpeas. I want to make sure you got a camera. I don't think, Don, is that better, Don?
That is better.
That's better, good. So we have about 2.5 cups of chickpeas. We have one Bogart sweet potato that we're going to grate here. We have leeks, a whole leek. We have a fennel of Florence. We have garlic here. We have tamarind right here. And we have some ginger water. We have some water with ginger here. Right? So this is where we are going to put the tamarind in order to get the juice out of it. So we're going to turn that water on. We can get ahead of ourselves as we prepare the rest of the ingredients. Now, here, I went to my backyard here and I got a couple of leaves of sorrel, the lemony leaves. I have some fresh sage. I have some overwintered, just a small batch of, just a few greens of Luciano kale, which I'm going to chop as well. And then I have black pepper. I have caraway seeds. These are the ones from Iceland, Don. I know those might look familiar to you. I have some powdered yellow mustard. I have some nutmeg. And I have some coriander, ground cumin. So we have here. We have the salt. I have the olive oil with us. our good friend, the olive oil. Okay. Now, the first thing for us is to get the tamarind shells, take care of the tamarind out of their shells, so that we can put them in hot water with the ginger and work on getting those taken care of.
Chef, what did you do? What did you do with the ginger?
So the ginger is just ground. So what I did is just ground some ginger, as we always do. You can see the ginger. So I ground some ginger, and I'm going to put the tamarind beans in there, bring it to close to a bowl, and then just let it sit so that the tamarind beans can become really soft. I'm going to put it in all these in a water bottle right here. Shake it, and then I'll have a gingery tamarind sauce.
Okay, and the ginger looks like you didn't peel it at all, did you?
No, I didn't peel it. I just rinsed it real well. Okay.
And then you chopped it up?
Yes. I just actually I put it in the pot and western and just beat it into pieces. You can see, for example.
You pulled a Michael Jackson and beat it.
You can see, yeah. You can see it's just pounded.
Nice. Nice.
Yes. So put that, and we'll be good. We're good to go. Okay, so we're done. I only have 2 tamarind left. Actually, I'm running. I like to use tamarinds in 3s. I like to use 3 tamarinds when I'm cooking. That's just my flavor profile. I like that flavor of the tamarind, and I want just enough of it so that I can really taste. Yes, I really like the taste of tamarind. And me and Dawn when we were in Iceland, we made a sauce that has ginger, tamarind, sage, and garlic. I think we didn't have sage, but we have garlic. Sometimes I add basil when it comes into season, as well as the other things. But right now, it's very early in the season, so we don't have a lot of stuff. So while that's cooking, so we start with the chopping that we need to do and the grating. So the first thing that we need to chop is the leek. So we'll get our leek and chop those. I always use the leafy part of the leek first. So I'll cut the leek into half, and I'll keep this for next time. And this is what I'll use. I use this because, as you can tell, it's already turning yellow. So this is the part that falls the quickest. So if you have a leek, use the top part first. Okay. And as always, the way I wash my leek is I cut it in half, like that. And then I peel it. I peel the edges to see whether there's any sand. Okay. So if there's no sand, that means it's easy cleaning. If there's sand around there, then I know I have to do some serious cleaning. Okay. And very quickly, all right. The other half, equally just chop. Cut a long way, maybe 3 times. And then cut into shape.
Looks like your ginger is angry. It's steamed.
It's actually cheering me on. Yeah, that's the fufudela of the ginger. It's called ginger fufudela. All right. All right. So turn that off. We have the sage. I'll chop the sage, mince it. All right. We need garlic. About 3 cloves of garlic should be about right, which will be about a teaspoon of garlic. Will be just fine. Just fine. And just remove the dry part. Okay. You don't want anything dry. And if this takes too long, I just crush it with my my hand or the knife. You don't have to use that. You don't have to have a very strong hand. You can use the edge of the knife like this and just crush it like that. Crush each one. Crush the next one. Okay. And that becomes very easy to remove the dry piece. See, the dry piece comes out. Okay, same thing. The dry piece comes out. The dry piece comes out just like that. Okay. All right, so chop this. All right. Put those together. Now, the next thing that we have to chop is the fennel florets. Two things, I can either chop it or I can grate it. Actually, this time I prefer to grate it because due to the fact that I want everything to be rather small because we're making a soup. I don't want really big pieces in there. So for that reason, let's simplify it by simply chopping. And chopping it is easy. Just on one side. I'm hoping to get about 3/4 of a cup of, or close to a cup of fennel florets. Okay. Rinse that. One more piece. Good. Now we have the chopped stuff, the grated stuff, and we have the big stuff that's sitting outside that wasn't chopped. So I want to just mince that real quick. So that we don't have any big pieces. We don't have any pieces there. All right, so all the mincing is done. All right. Can remove the grater. And yes, it's about a cup, I think. We got about a cup, what we were looking for. So we get all that inside stuff, pile it together, and then we grate the last thing that we need to grate. The spline. The spline should settle. All right? So the grate side, and just grate them. And for this, I'm also looking for about a cup and a half, I think. I would assume cup and a half would be really good amount to make it uniform with the rest of the stuff. So I can put the knife to the side. I can hold it with one edge.
Chef, while you're working there, can you explain your measurements? Are you looking for flavor? Are you looking for starches? Are you looking for nutrition? What's your science behind the ratio here with the sweet potato?
Okay, good. That's a very, very, very good question. I can always count on you, Don, to do the heavy lifting. So in cooking, you use all of them. I have to think about nutrition. I have to think about flavor. I have to think about the consistency, the balance between, like people who use, if you wanted to sweeten something, you consider, do I have 2 liters of water or liquid, or is it 1 cup that I need to sweeten? So you can juggle that in your head, do the math in your head. Say, if I typically drink half a teaspoon of honey for 1 cup, and I have 1.5 liters, which is about maybe 4.5 cup or 5 cup, you adjust that ratio. So there's the idea of flavor. So if I have too many onions and not enough of the other stuff, then it'll taste too much oniony. One, it wouldn't have the right kind of viscosity in it. It might be too thin, it might be too thick. All those are things to think about. Somebody's having a problem joining, and I want to make sure I can help. Just a second. All right, you have somebody joining. All right, good day. So back to your question. So we have to think about all those things all at the same time. We don't have a choice of thinking about only one thing. So we think about consistency. We have to think about flavor. We have to think about the balance of all the other stuff that we have. I'm looking at the amount of beans that I have, the amount of sweet potatoes, the amount of fennel florence, and the amount of onions. Because ultimately, there's a flavor profile that I'm looking for, that I have. And that flavor profile will be as a result of a perfect, almost close to perfect combination of all the things that I'm using. That way I don't overpower one thing. And one thing doesn't dominate the flavor of the food. And the flavor doesn't taste rather awkward. Okay? So that's why I'm thinking about all those things. Then I have to think about, when I choose the ingredients, I want to have health, nutrition, all at the same time. And this is a good example. So I have about 2.5, almost about 2.5 cups of sweet potatoes. Okay, about what I have. I might have grated a little bit more. So that will call for me to adjust. That might call for me to adjust a few things. I'm also thinking about the size pan that I have. So I chose I would rather cook with this kind of pot, but I don't like to cook with this when I'm having a class, because you won't be able to have the benefit of seeing how the process looks like. Okay, so for that reason, I'd rather cook with this. And I don't want to have a wide one. If I have one that's too wide, then that will become a big problem when I'm trying to control the water in the food. So all these things, this is like one of the biggest form of science that somebody has to tune themselves with. And this is not something that somebody teaches you. No, this is something you cook over and over again and you become really good. I was talking to you, Dawn, and I said, so think about it. It's really awkward that I had to teach what I wasn't taught. Nobody taught me these things. I just hang around with my kitchen with my mother, and I helped. And the more I helped, the more I realized why my mother didn't measure anything. She knew, she intuitively knew that for this amount of food, rice, I need this kind of amount of water. We didn't have a measuring cup in the house. And I never saw one time my mother, when I cook rice myself or millet, I use this cup. So I know I'm using 1 cup and I need to do 2 cups of water. My mother never did that. Okay. And that's why my class is very different from most usual other classes that you will take, right? Because mine, I'm not teaching you the recipe. I'm teaching you how to think about food. And then I'm not giving you I'm only giving you the example. That's all I do. I give you the example and I give you the courage to go and the confidence to go and try and to know that you're not going to get it right the first time. That you have to keep doing it, and until you get it right. Because if I give you a recipe, then I'm continuing with the same fallacy that I'm trying to decolonize. That somebody has screwed us ahead to think about to make cooking so easy. And it's not easy, the science. Cooking is a science. If cooking was so easy, then America wouldn't be spending as much money as spending, as well as the globe, really. I'm just using America as an example. America is really going broke because of many reasons, but the top reason because of cost of health. We talked about that in other classes. So anyway, for me to tell you, oh, here's the recipe, go use the recipe, then I'm not helping you. I'm becoming part of the problem. And that's actually against my principles of my cuisine, Afrofuturistic conscious cuisine. It's based on justice and literacy. We have to understand food. If you're not interested in living, then don't learn about cooking. If you don't care about your health, you don't love yourself, okay, don't worry about cooking. You can do other things. You can earn money, you can do this, you can support the system, it doesn't matter. But if you want to be liberated, if you want to be free, you have to learn how to cook. And there's no shortcut. I don't teach people shortcut or how to scam. No. There is no other ways to cooking. You have to do it until you get it. There we go. All right. So I can tell the tamarind now is already getting soft. Just getting in the ginger is good and done. It's very, very soft, I can tell. Okay. So if I want to, I can take it, put it in a bottle, water bottle. Then add some water here. Some of this juice, some of this really good juice. Add it here. Just a little bit of it. Oh, as much. I'll be making soup, so really it doesn't matter. So actually, that more ginger water is good. And I can just shake it. Very good exercise.
I'm glad we have this video, Chef, because I would have put in 3 cloves of yams and 2 cups of garlic.
In there. Yeah, that's one option. So you can see the color. You can see it's already looking, and I can taste it. I say, yep, it tastes really good. And if I let it sit there for a minute and shake it again from time to time, then I'll keep getting more. All right, we're good. So we set that to the side. Now, the last thing that we have to do is cut the tips of these tips. These small tips. We want those tips to be done. So we want to remove as much of the tips that are hard, that will take a while to cook. Remove as much. I didn't remove all of it because after that it's becoming really, really soft. And that's part of being literate, because again, this is just the science of cooking. You know what to do, and you cook. And actually, you guys are having it easy because my mom didn't explain to me. She just did it and asked me, "Can you help me with this?" And I helped. They said, "That's not how you do it. This is how you do it." And then just for observing and making mistakes, I learned how to do it. So these stalks have a lot of fiber. Now, I don't know whether my mother knew that or not. I don't know why. But the simple, actually, I should say that. Take that back. In indigenous cultures, people don't waste anything. You try to use as much of what you have available to the greatest extent possible. So we didn't lose anything. Now, I don't know whether she knew what the benefits of it are, but these stocks have a lot of fiber. Number one, these things are organic ingredients. So everything in it, every small thing has a lot of benefit. For example, when I cook organic foods, I know, no, actually fruits. When I use organic foods, I know the peelings are organic. So I can't throw those in the trash because they can make compost that I can't buy anywhere. Most of the compost that they sell, I don't know where I can buy organic compost. Because most of the compost they have, those people are in the business of making compost. And compost is not regulated in the US. So you can't say, as I showed in the previous class, for the sake of those who are new, you have a number here. You have a number here. Where's the number? The number is on the very bottom. There's a number on the bottom. The number, that number tells you to what extent this banana is organic. Is it 100%, 80%, or 75% organic, right? And so on. But compost, we don't know about that compost. So if I have 100% organic banana, I eat the banana, I keep the peel, I put it in the back, and I feed it to my worms. And that's how I keep building the soil. And we'll have a class about that in the backyard sometime later in the spring. I want to talk about soil. But anyway, so I'm saying that just to say that these stalks have a lot of fiber. And fibers are very, very good food for our microbiome. So always making sure that you have as much fiber in your food is a standard. You should always try to increase the amount of fiber you have in your food and be conscious about that to the greatest extent possible. Because of that, some of my friends throw away their stocks. I've seen my friends, or some people, chefs, they just throw away the stocks because, man, I mean, it's too hard. They throw away. But for me, I think about how can I use it? How can I make it useful so that I don't end up throwing something that is valuable and something that if I bought it, costed me money, okay? So we have the base. The only other thing that we'll do here down in a minute, we'll start pounding some of these beans. We're going to pound them here so that they are not whole beans. They start releasing some of the, actually, it would be really nice if I could pound them here, but I don't want to do that because of glass. So I'll do it the hard way so that, we have a better example of doing it so that somebody can do it at home. And all what I do is put my fingers there and I crush them, just crush them. I had something that could crush them, but I don't want to look for it now because, and I like to do things in the most basic way, Somebody say, I can find very simple machines. Machines can make all this all simple, but there's also some joy and some satisfaction in doing it in the most basic way.
Chef, talk about
it's almost a form of meditation, yes.
Talk about those beans. You soaked them?
Oh, those are hard. So how did I cook the beans? So I soaked the beans for 24 hours. And then I rinsed them and kept them wet for another 12 hours this time. Okay, so I just rinsed them with water and I let them sit. They start almost sprouting. And I boiled them. And to boil them, I just added enough water, brought it to a bowl, covered it, and let them sit there for maybe 1 hour or an hour and a half. And they were done. They were soft. Yes, they were soft. So here you are. So I have it.
So you bring it to a boil, then you cover it, and maybe
I cover it with a lid so that it stays hot. But all the beans have to be covered with water. And that heat is enough to cook those beans. That's the most efficient way of cooking beans that I know. Right? Because I'm not using a lot of energy, but also I'm not cooking beans when they are so dry. So they've already started sprouting. So that reduces the amount of rectin in it. Okay? So here you go. just that, with that. Okay, so that's one. I'll do one more probably, and then we'll proceed. You get it, you get the drift. Okay, good. Pound them. Oh, all right, good deal.
And you were saying that you've noticed a difference in who eats the beans that have been prepared this way versus just boiled. Because you're
I
saying
know that.
Kungo
Yes.
particularly was having trouble with beans that were
Yes.
not soaked and sprouted.
Yes, and he would have gas. He would have problem digesting it. You know, he'll have stomach upsets. See, he was having a big problem with beans. That doesn't mean everybody, but will have the same thing. But I have seen some people, and Congo is one. It's also just much easier to digest for you. Becomes much easier to digest in the body. So, yes. So we know the science, we know scientifically, but also we have anecdotal evidence that, you know, man, those beans, that's the best way to eat beans.
And I'm guessing changing or sprouting them slightly changes the nutritional profile.
Yeah, it changes the amount of rectin. So you can mute everyone so that
Got it.
Yes. Yes. All right. So that's why I soak the beans out. So, and obviously I'm doing much slower, but I can easily put in them in the Vitamix. But Vitamix is going to break all the fiber. And that's another reason why I'm not a big fan of smoothies. You've never seen me make any smoothies. Because when I learned that about fiber, the importance of fiber, then it made sense to me why a lot of people are unhealthy, especially in terms of people who are thinking they're healthy, with the fad of making smoothies. Because everybody just puts everything in the Vitamix, and these Vitamix spins at a very, very high speed. Very, very high speed. So number one, it causes a lot of heat. Number two, it breaks down all the fiber. So once you swallow that in there, man, you don't have hardly any fiber. So you're really, really starving your microbiome. Okay. So smoothies.
Something else. I've seen powder mixes that say add fiber to your diet, and you put in a spoonful in some water and you drink it, and it's tiny, tiny particles.
That's not fiber, man. Somebody's playing a game.
It's atomic fiber.
Atomic fiber, man. I don't know what kind of fiber they're selling. Yes. Oh, anyway, that's that. I don't want to jump ahead, but we'll talk about these ants called the grass cutter ants. Are you familiar with grass cutter ants, Don?
No, sir.
Okay, I will talk about. That's one of the classes that I have prepared to talk about. These ants, they are the best farmers. They've been farming for the last 50 million years. They are way, way better farmers than the human beings. Not even to the scale of 10,000. They are probably 1 million times better than we are in farming. Yes. Oh, it's amazing. So anyway, so all those are just gimmicks. We are all victims of people who just want to make money. And I was talking to a friend of mine. I just met who we were friends on Facebook, but we hadn't talked all this time. And the idea that some people are selling vaccines. Now these vaccines are causing so many health problems. I told my friend, man, don't get vaccinated. I told my family, don't get vaccinated. Only for I lost some work. I told I couldn't get a job. This job, okay, say people can't go there because they're vaccinated. More power. I don't think I haven't seen any amount of money that's so big and that's big enough that I can compare it with my health. But anyway, long story short is that now Pfizer came out that Pfizer was constantly lying about the effectiveness of the vaccine that was selling people legally. They say it's 50% effect, or it's 75% or 80% effective. No, no, no. We think it's about 50. Oh no, well, we don't know how much, how effective. We don't know. We don't. We're just selling to you, but you buy it, and then we're mandating that you have to get it. Although we don't know how effective it is. But you just have to get it. Okay, so saying all that to say that we are in an era whereby some people are just making money from selling things to people, regardless to the consequences of the effect that on those people's health. So as long as those people make money for their shareholders, and really not for their shareholders, really a lot of those people just want to get bonuses themselves. So they'll sell more vaccines so that the bosses of those companies can make money, so they can pay the lobbyists, they can get more money from the government. And so it's a gravy train. So if that means that you have to die, man, sorry for you, but you're just collateral damage. Okay, so here we are. So anyway, for that reason, a lot of things I don't take. I just don't trust a lot of. There's a lot of things I just don't trust. I don't trust a lot of things. I don't have, because I've been amazed, I guess, in my adult life. Some of the things that grown people will believe, and I know they're lies, and people will swear by them, and I know they're lies. Yes, I know those things are lies for sure. Beyond any reasonable doubt, I live long enough to know those things are lies. I just shared on my Facebook page this politician in Kenya saying that he'll ask when he's elected as a politician that he will give money to mosques and churches because we have to feed people's spirituality. We have to nourish people spiritually. Any politician telling you guys a lie, as I said, you should run 26 miles. You should make you a marathon. You should run 26.1 miles away from any planet where they inhabit, where they live, they reside. Because man, there will be nothing but chaos. Anyway, too much about that, or enough about that. So here we have our sauce, man. Very, very good. Just roughly ground. You know, it's not very too smooth. It's not like flour. You're not trying to make flour. And we're not trying to make flour. No, that's not our goal. So here we are. That's done. And keep an eye on time, Don. We're going a little slow today. All right, this is good time. I'm surprised we're ahead of time, even with all that talking. Now, heat the fire on high. We're going to add all this. Skillet.
And you do salt after you put in all the veggies, huh?
Yes, I first put all the veggies and then add the salt. All right. All the stuff in there. Somebody came and told us a lie. Say, oh, you have to put the onion and oil. Those jokers who are selling oil. They are so oil merchant. Oh, you can't cook the onion. Oh, you gotta cook with the onion and the oil. Oh, really? Okay. Here you are. Now that's a big old lie that everybody believes. That they gotta cook onions and with the oil. So they're selling all kinds of trash in Africa and many other places. Very, very rancid stuff. Stuff that's heated at very high temperatures. And people are getting cancer and all other kinds of diseases because of eating rancid oil. Hydrogenated oil. I grew up eating with hydrogenated oil. Oh, and I thought that was normal. Yeah. Well, if we didn't have hydrogenated oil, we'll think my mother was shortchanging. How can we live without oil? Nobody lives without oil. All right, there you are. So salt. All right, about a tablespoon of salt is always standard for me. 3/4 tablespoon of salt is good. Okay. Carrot.
So salt and your watery vegetables are your solution to not using oil.
Oil, I never use oil to cook. I never use oil to cook. I never cook oil. That's one of the biggest liberations I've ever had to learn. Probably more than any other thing I've come up with is the ability to cook without oil. If nobody ever remembers my name, I know that it's probably an oncoming revolution where so many people will be cooking without oil. So these jokers are getting ready to lose a lot of money a lot of money. Money they can feel, probably in the next 20 or 30 years. Oh, they're going to know, oh, how come we're not selling so much oil? We're only selling maybe, like, I don't care whether in 100 years I influence the sale of oil by 0.00001%, but it will be something that somebody will feel. On that, I have little doubt. I have little doubt about that. I have little doubt. Yes. Because I'm not selling anything to people they have to buy. I'm not telling you, oh, stop buying this so that you can tell me. I'm telling people, save your own money and save your own health. Yes. And then kill the pirates. Yes. Kill the pirates. Start the pirates. How do you want to kill the pirates? Start them. Yes. Start them. Don't give them your money. Don't give them your time unless you have to. Don't give them your money. Then they'll die a slow death. Okay. So good class here. Look, you can tell this is sticking, right? You can see it's sticking. You can tell it's sticking here, right? It's dirty here. All right. Notice that. Is it? Let's wait for 15 seconds. Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Look at how clean it is on this side. You have literally nothing sticking. It was sticking on that side. All right. I can wipe this with a tissue paper and you wouldn't be able to tell what I was cooking, right? Now look, on the other side, same thing for the side that was sticking. The opposite side that was sticking. Now, actually, that's how I was holding the pot, right? Look, nothing sticking here. I can get a tissue paper. Actually, I'm going to do that next time. I'm going to get a paper towel and we're going to wipe it. Look, we're going to wipe it.
And you're doing that by managing the heat, just by listening?
Yes, just by listening. Actually, I bet you if I can do this, if I do this, look at that. It looks so clean. You cannot be able to tell what I was cooking. Can you see that, Don?
Chef,
I don't want to see people can see. Can you see how it's shining?
This is on video, Chef. We saw you sneak the oil in there.
Oh, my bad, man. Don, you should have told me, man, that the trick is not going well. All right? So, my bad, man. The trick went bad. So, you get the drift. Just a little bit more salt. And I think I hope that made the point. But you don't have to cook with oil. And it's the biggest scam. Among the biggest scam these jokers have on.
You're telling us the salt helps extract the liquid from the vegetables.
Yes, that's right. That's it. That's all. Now I can sit down and wait. Just stare at that.
And you have the garbanzo beans in reserve because they're already cooked and they can help you manage the temperature as well.
Oh, yes. So, these are already done. All these will do is add viscosity and add flavor. That's it. Because I'll put them at the very end. Okay. So I have spinach here, and I have something I bought. Oh, something I bought. I bought some dill. Something I want to grow myself. So I have the dill, this organic dill, and this I'll just get a little bit. Dill is very, very strong. I've never bought dill and used all of it. I always ended up throwing some away. Okay, so just a little bit of dill in there, just a little bit of dill. Maybe at most even a teaspoon of dill is plenty.
And
So
your heat is down to medium now, right? Or low?
It's down to medium because I'm talking and I know exactly about how much time I need. And if I think I need to talk, I can just take it off. And by taking it off by itself, like now, you can tell it's sticking. You can tell it's sticking now. Okay? I can hold it for 1 minute, for 15 seconds, and all the sticking will be gone. I can add just a little bit more salt because I know I'm making soup. So, oh man, this is great. Great lesson here. Look. The place that all the place I was speaking, again, for the nth time, for the nth time, for the nth time, for the nth time, I can take a paper towel and rinse and wipe it. And there's nothing. It was sticking and it's not. So there are so many ways I can manipulate the heat. I can lower the heat, I can take it off for a minute, and so on. So there are all these ways I can use to manipulate the heat. But there is also another way I can manipulate the heat by adding something else that you say. But I'd rather add something that has water in it by adding these few greens that I have. And stir them. I'm lowering the temperature, but also I'm adding some water. It might be just a little bit, but you'll be surprised how much just a little bit of water, and lowering the temperature just a couple of degrees, how far that goes in buying me time to prepare the next thing. Okay? Now, so we have that going. Now, we have one more thing. While that's cooking, I already know what the next thing is. Right here. All right. So we have the sauce. Use a sieve, shake it. Or get a spoon. I want to see if I have any seeds or if I have any skin, and we'll see the skin and seeds. If not, the rest of it is sauce, and I add it in there. Okay? Then one more round. You tell there are seeds, there are strings, and I see all that.
How's your ginger? Does the ginger get strained out, or does most of the ginger go in?
Oh, no, it's strained. The ginger is strained in there. Okay? And we have a lesson to learn. Not all the tamarind was dissolved. There was one bean of the tamarind was a little hard, so it took a little while to get soft. So I don't have to worry about that. Just add it in there with the rest of the stuff. Add just a little water. Okay. You just let it sit on the side, shake it some, and then let it sit on the side, and we save it again. Okay? Just set it. And share this. And this is a very good time to start adding the spices. So we'll add yellow mustard, some cumin, about a quarter tablespoon, a third of a teaspoon. I wanted to grind this. I wanted to grind this caraway seeds just a little bit, so that not too hard. Good. All right. Add them in there. All right. Now, I have nutmeg. Just a touch. Nutmeg is very, very strong. So you want just a little bit of the nutmeg. And then we have some black pepper. Right? Touch of black pepper. Now, we're going to ramp up the heat because the food is just about done. Ramp the heat up because we are in the final stages. And we put this spicing now so that we can spread it all through the mix. So we can do the adjusting. A little bit more salt will be in order. Then we need the mix of the tamarind. We want to get all the tamarind we can be able to get in there. And you can see this one goes through much easier. We don't have to do it in 2 batches. We're done. And you can tell that water is not clear. So that means we were able to get some more tamarind out of it. Just a little bit more tamarind out of it. Okay? Okay, so that's done.
And I've noticed, Chef, sometimes when you prepare the tamarind, you will actually leave it sitting in the fridge for a few days. You could just let it soak in cold water. You don't even need the heat. If you let it soak.
You don't need the heat. You can just put it in the water and let it sit there for a day or however long you want. Because I mean, it's not going to go to waste, or it's not going to go bad. Oh, good stuff. So I can tell that's about the way I want it. So I've adjusted the flavors. The salt is on the high side because you know you're going to add more water and add all the beans. Again, this can stand just a little bit more beans if I wanted to. But again, this is for demonstration purposes. So there you go. Okay, so that's our base. We're good to go. Literally, putting those beans, I don't need but 25 seconds maximum for average, 25 seconds to 45 seconds. And all this mix is hot because the water was hot, the whole space was full of heat. And as soon as you put something cold in there, the temperature lowers, but it's still being heated at the same time. So it takes another maybe 45 seconds, and the whole mix is boiling again. You can tell, and you can tell just by the rate of boiling of the liquid, the rate at which the liquid is boiling there. You know, once you put the cold beans in there, it stops, the boiling goes down dramatically or substantially. Then in a few, half a minute, 3/4 of a minute, you can tell the boiling comes back up again. So that means all the mix there is hot. Now, all we have to do now is add extra water. It's just water. And the only time I use water in my cooking. Unless when I'm boiling beans, rice millet, but now when I'm typically cooking fresh stuff, okay? So we have our food there. Adjust for flavor. How much salt I need, or how much spicing I need. That's what I'm trying to find out. So that's about right. I can make use of just a little bit of tamarind, cumin to complement the tamarind taste. And here we are. We have our sauce. Very good sauce. We don't know. All this set to the side. It's not a meat.
Your kids like the soup?
Oh, they love the soup. Yes. They love the soup. They love the soup. They love the soup. And my kids are typically my guinea pigs. So if they don't like it, so I hope I have some decent kids. Because if they don't like it, then I know I have a lot of work to do, because they are the poster book example of the kids, which is not really not true, but they are still in a new generation. So if they like the flavor, then I know that I'm doing a halfway decent job. If they don't like it, then I have to work to make it more palatable and figure out ways of increasing changing the spicing and the like. Okay. So there you go. Okay. So there we are. Olive oil, a little bit. And I have one more thing to add. These are pea shoots. Okay. It's actually English peas, and they make shoots out of them. They sprout them and when they are very young, they harvest them and they sell them. The people who sell these things are in Raleigh, so they are people I know. So when I go there to the Whole Foods, then I buy from local brands, from local folks. That's how they look like. So that is how my soup looks like. Okay. And then I throw some shootings, pea shoots. And that's the soup. It's my soup. So I'll take a photo of it, if it's okay, Mr. Don, because I know you asked me about it. So I wanna. Okay, I have a photo of it, and
you're doing it right.
I don't have a choice, man. Yes. All right, good. So there you go. So I have the photo. Now all I need is a taster, Don. So if you can provide me with a taster, then I think we'll be in good shape. All right. So I have I'll add a little bit of olive oil and get my spoon, my wonderful spoon. Yeah, and mix it. Very, very flavorful soup. Very, very flavorful. I love the mix between the fennel Florence and the tamarind. It has very nice lemony taste. If you've never cooked the fennel Florence, it has licorice taste. So you have the lemony taste on one side, the licorice taste on the other side, and then it's tempered by the sweet potato on it. So man, that's a good soup. That's a great soup. The only regret that I have is I can't send it online for you guys to taste. But Mmm. It's awesome stuff. There are times we cook and there are times we cook. Don knows what I mean. There are times we cook and the food actually exceeds our expectations. And we've done that only like 3 times in this class. 3 times. When we use the guava, that's one time. I'll never forget that flavor. That flavor with the guava was fantastic. To use the guava, the rind of the guava in preparing the food. It was a very, very eclectic flavor. And that's what I do. Most of what I do is really tasting stuff.
Now, Chef, you realize we could have just gotten some top ramen and dried noodles, boiled those up in like 5 minutes, and added the flavor packet, and it would have taken so much less time.
Oh yeah, so that we can go to the plantation and do work. Why in a rush? Why are you trying to do Roman noodles? Because you want to support the Roman Empire.
Ramen, not Roman.
No. Yeah, but it's owned by the Roman Empire. Roman Empire is an empire. So those guys, that's the food of the empire. You know, when we talked a lot about the food of the empire, and our eating habits has changed over time from indigenous to empire system of eating. So we eat not to nourish our bodies, but we eat so that we can be an future investment for pharmaceutical companies. So that we can, as I say, we can spend less time cooking so that we can spend more time on the screen and we can make money for Jeff Bezos and all the other stuff because we are online. Majority of the people who are online, they are not doing something constructive. They're just consuming content that is not really supporting their own liberation.
Chef, I have some more anecdotal evidence for you. So you're feeding your kids this very delicious soup, which probably tastes much, much better, I'm guessing, than ramen noodles.
Yes.
But also it's infinitely more nutritious. And I have a kid that I associate with every day, and he is he has a hard time walking downstairs. He's 13 years old, and he spends almost all of his time in front of the computer watching the content you were just talking about. Whereas you've shown me some of the things that Kabu, your son, is doing, who's eating this meal, and he's what do the other kids say about him?
They say he's the most athletic kid in his soccer team.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's 2 bits of anecdotal evidence: ramen power versus nutrition power.
Yeah. My kids now still think that their dad is crazy, right? So every now and then, for the first time, my daughter asked the mother to buy some Roman noodles that are organic, because she sees everybody else eating. So say, why are we different from? Why can't we eat what everybody else is eating every now and then? So I walked in the kitchen and I said, hey, man, you can't eat that stuff, man. You can't eat that stuff, man. I said, it's organic. I said, you can't eat that stuff. So I'm saying to say that my kids will still try me because they are kids. And I'll tell you this, Don, as well as the rest, other members of the group. Part of what I think is a problem is when oppression becomes so entrenched, then freedom becomes more precious and more rare. So when we raise kids, it's easy to go and get pregnant. Not really for some people, but it's okay. A lot of people get pregnant. But getting pregnant is the easy part. But I don't think even a tiny portion of the people who get pregnant actually know what the expense is or what the price they have to pay in order to raise a halfway, just decent child, just an average child who is just have average intelligence, average health, that are healthy, that can do the typical things that a child can do. And then when they grow up, they can be able to live by themselves. They know how to live in the time, in the context of time. And I'm saying, or in other words, I'm saying a lot of people have children without context of the time and space they raise those children in. So we raise children without realizing that the competition that we have with the food, quote unquote, food manufacturers and content creators who are going to manipulate the children so that the children can ask us to spend money, our money, or the money the family has, so that the family wealth can be parlayed into the hands of the very few wealthy people. So that's what it is. So a lot of people don't realize how different the landscape has changed. For example, we grew up in Kenya, so I have those ideas I have about children, how much it will cost to raise them, how much it will cost to feed them. I have these ideas. Those ideas are totally out of context. So for me, I've come to recognize that I cannot expect my son, I can't go to work and expect my son to be anyway halfway decent. That if I leave my son for just a fraction of the time that I spend with him, and I just reduce it by son, man, my son will be so way off from what I think. He'll be way off course that, then there will be no turning back. And then again, I'm not saying for everybody, but for majority of it, that's like the general trend. So the children are being co-opted to eat bad food, for example, to spend a lot of time on the screen, consuming just, useless content that I say, just entertaining themselves. But at the same time, as I close, man, I know I bet you it's 9:30. Wow, 9:40, man, I'm done. So at the same time, life is becoming even more difficult now than any other time compared to our time. But these children are less prepared, even though things are far much more precarious than it was in our time or in previous generations. But yeah, man, they're just having a good time when they are growing up. Then guess what? When they grow up, it'll be a bombshell happen. A lot of people will be committing suicide, mass suicide in time to come, because things will be very expensive. People will have very poor skills. There'll be very few opportunities. The countries will be in huge debt, and so on and so on. You get what I'm saying? Anyway,
Chef,
any question about?
We'll have to talk about the psychological effects of nutrition, because I was just thinking, how many kids are so depressed, and you've got child suicide rate. I just walked out of a Walmart. A lady was talking about fighting youth suicide from the schools, and I'm realizing with so many people I know that are taking medication for health issues, mental health issues,
yes.
that our food has such an impact on our mind. It really, really does. I've noticed that with myself and with the people around me. And you're offering nutrition versus convenience and flavor.
Yes.
And you're also adding the convenience and flavor, but through a tactical approach with nutrition right at the front, which is very unique.
I always say you're a smart guy, man.
Chef, we need a whole class on some of the tangent things we've talked about here, but we got to end this recording pretty quick. But thank you. This has been so good. I love watching you eat. It's one of my favorite things in the world.
Thank you very much. I want to make sure I finish the food as you end the recording, because I want to show that I'm very, very confident with my food. I'm not just cooking food here for show and then throwing it away.
And I know that for those of us who are lazier than you, or who are headed off to work because we're not as prepared, that we could increase the proportions. And I'm guessing this soup could last for 2 or 3 days.
It can start for 5 days. You can cook this soup. Marvelous. You can cook this soup, put it in a glass bowl, put it in the fridge, and eat today, skip tomorrow, eat the next day or the day after, and the soup will be fantastic still. It will not go to waste. The beans are good. They are not canned beans. They are fresh. Everything here is fresh. Everything is here fresh. This will last 4 days, easy, 5 days in this container. Now, I don't like the container. I wish it was a glass container, but that's a story for another day. So thank you very much. I think we've covered enough for today. That's enough content. Thank you very much. Today is the last day our scholarship fund that Don had put together for $4,000 for the last month, and this month is over. So unfortunately, we will not be having, I don't have any other scholarships to offer. So I wish I have. But several people have said they might add a little bit more money so that we can give other people the opportunity, people who can afford the opportunity to come and join the class. But we're still going to continue. We'll be here next month. So if somebody want to continue with the class and they're here on a scholarship, talk to Don. He'd be glad to register you for the class, tell you what the process you need to go, wherever you want.
We're working out the curriculum that lasts for close to a year. So if anybody here wants to sign up for the full year of class, you get access to all of this stuff, and not just the practicals, but also the lectures throughout the week, all through the year. So we have that available as well. Correct?
That's correct. And if you say we have available, man, we'll make it available. Yes. All right.
All right, Chef. Thank you. Does anyone else have questions before we end?
Anybody got a question before we duck out? All right. I guess that's either a sign of two things. Either people didn't get anything you say, Don, or people got it perfectly. So no question. You can actually ask everybody to make this recipe right away, and they'll be able to get it. And what about the availability of recording? Is the recording available to members of the class?
We just figured out how to get all of those listed. So we'll have each of these classes for cooking and a few lectures that you've done on the Tuesdays. Yes. We're going to have those all listed. So we can have, those of you who have participated can have access to the recordings on YouTube, a YouTube link.
Sure. So yeah, so if you're part of the group, you can have access to some of these and other classes available. Yes. All right.
Thank you, Chef.
All right. Everybody enjoy your time wherever you are. I'm very glad to see again here who has some twins. I'm very excited about having the first set of twins that can start eating Afro-futuristic conscious cuisine. I haven't heard anything more exciting this year than the possibility of having twins.
Thank you so much. I'm here to learn, and I'm looking forward to learning so much more.
You're most welcome. We're very glad to have you and to have the twins as my first twins.
Thank
All
you.
right. Enjoy the rest of the day. I wish everybody well.
Thank you. Good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Chef.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, Carol. Bye-bye, McKenna. Bye-bye, Mother. Eni. Bye-bye, Akafushi. Eni.